You said someone starts early. Now, if we go onto the BrainTap app, and you probably know it backwards. I mean, I don't know it as well as you. And
Sure.
I've got my favorites, and then my coaches have got their favorites. But that's also why we're
Yep.
doing this podcast, is because you've got this huge sample group. So someone wakes
Yes.
up now, and I know it's like specific, they've got to try, but where should they start with regards in the morning? I'm a traditional,
Yeah.
I do brain tap
There's a
once a day.
series.
Yeah.
Yeah, there's a series called AM. If you do
Yeah.
AM, of course, those are with words, and I've created a series, and we're adding more to those because we're finding that people need more. But we also you can type in the word in the search engine SMR. That SMR brainwave is the one that as you age or when you're under stress, it atrophies. And that's the one we need for cognition, focus, and basically pattern recognition, all the things we need to be better, have a better brain for business. You can also do alpha in the morning because that's going to wake up your brain. And remember from past calls, if the people have listened to them, I talk about those brainwaves are also queuing up the neurotransmitters you need through the day, because those are the signalers between the neurons that make sure you can actually function. And if you didn't get that deep sleep cycle, that first thing in the morning, you're going to build up those neurotransmitters you need to actually make those connections. If you've ever had brain fog or you just couldn't remember something, you'll find that when you start doing that morning session, and I tell people, think of the morning like you're in a boat and you're going across a lake, and you know where you want to go across the lake, but you put it on autopilot, but then you're 2 degrees off. You're not going to hit that mark.
Yeah.
So you need to make sure in the morning you know where you want to go, you know what you want to do, you've got the marker in place, and you're course correcting along the way. But if you don't ever check in, so think of
Yeah.
that morning session as a way you might do focus, concentration, flexibility. They're all major topics for brain function. Or if you feel like, hey, today I'm overwhelmed, I got to do a lot of things, then I would recommend just listening to one of the music only sessions, and you'll see those in the InHarmony and in right frequency sessions that are all different music. But for the listeners, just so you know, you should be listening to something different every 72 hours. And on the app, when you play it, you'll see a little clock shows up at the bottom of that play. That tells you that's the 72-hour time clock. So we don't want you to listen to that session for the next 72 hours because we need the brain to integrate. It's not just about, it's just like working out. If we work out every day, we're going to burn out our muscles. So if we do the same neurological program, we're going to burn out those neural pathways. It's not the same. We need to let it reorganize and then reorganize, represent. And then the brain starts to build those, because it's not just about being an alpha or theta or delta or gamma. It's about the capacity to move from one brainwave state to the next. It's like, I call it Tai Chi for the mind. So it's not, going to those states are fine when you're in the perfect like everybody talks about set and setting when they're doing like these psychedelics. But the reality is that just doing a psychedelic doesn't really change the brain for permanency. You have to have integration. That's why they usually do the talks afterwards, they do the things. But if you could do brain tap after those kind of experiences, so think of your nighttime experience. Your brain was, hopefully your hippocampus was really busy while you were sleeping, organizing your day-to-day activities, sorting out your memories, putting things in perspective, building timelines. Even though you didn't even know about those things, your brain was setting goals for you based on your past performance and your future outcomes. So now you're going to take a little bit more control. And as they say, Bruce Lipton, I like to quote him a lot because he says, everybody tries to change the 5%. That's your conscious mind. You wake up and you think, I'm going to go do this. I'm going to write these goals down. Well, big deal.
Yeah.
Your brain takes over 95% of the time. Your subconscious takes over, and it's all is dictated by what you've rehearsed and practiced in the mental space of your mind.
Yeah.
So these are times to train that part of you that takes over when you're not able to. You're so busy being busy that you're not able to take care of those things.